yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of it has changed, but this has been here since the 1800s, so this would have been around about that time. So I'm going to take you down and have a walk round, and the church should be just over that way. Just seen the spires of it, so where they used to get up in the morning, give themselves a wash, shear the makeup, have a bit of a chin wag, have a bit of a drink of water to get over their hangovers and things like that. Because obviously, yeah, they had problems with alcohol. Gin was freely available, but for what the living that they lived, basically the gin got them through the day. You know, helped them survive the misery of their lives, because it's not something that they wanted to be doing. It's just that they didn't have much choice really, and that's the sad thing about it. The way the country was at that time, you either had money or you didn't.
Andy, I've just noticed there's a history thing on the wall there. Do you want to have a look at that? See what it says up there. The meat and fish market first occupied a series of courts behind the grand roofed city mansion of Neville House. Goes back to 1300s. During the early 19th century, one of the most celebrated characters in the market was Old Tom, a ganger from Ostend who came to England by chance due to his fascination of one of the lady members of his flock. When was he here, Old Tom? Has he ever been called in? 1835, so that was before the prostitutes' murders were 1888. So he's off the hook because that's 50 years before they were murdered. So unless he came back and managed to do it as a phantom, it's not him.
Oh well.
Very old this place, isn't it? Yeah.
No.
Which way are we going to go on this way? Yeah, let's go that way. Yeah.
Still here with us. You can guide us.
Have a quick look up that street there. Can we get through? No. Has it not turned a corner? Is it not there?
Lime Street.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of it's changed. But if there's any Victorian pubs about, then they would be exactly the same as they were. There's one down there called the Grapes. Did you ever go in the Grapes? The Grapes. That pub is just down there.
It's a very old pub down here, the Grapes.
Yeah.
It's a very old pub, so...
Looks Victorian, doesn't it?
Victorian.
I mean, these streets, although they've been cleaned up, would have been the original streets the girls walked down back in the day. Client, seriously, Client. The Grapes, and you've got Client. Now, is there a passageway next to the Grapes? We need to check that out. Yeah.
Like I said, there's one it just seems funny that it's just starts flashing now.
Yeah, because they would have worked these streets.
Grapes, she possibly would have picked up the Client at the Grapes.
Yeah, those are the Grapes, guys. One of the pubs that the prostitutes would have frequented back in the day when they were picking up clients, and we just got the word client. We just got the word client on our...
Upset.
Really? Let's go this way. This looks Victorian, doesn't it? Try my best not to get people in the camera.
Yeah. So you were upset and the client was upset. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's amazing how we got Client.
Keep behind me.
That's amazing how we got Client. Of all the words that could come up,
yeah.
You get Client.
So just keep behind me. Through this way. You might have done a bit, I suppose, but if we're picking stuff up like this, then brilliant.
Well, I think that the Grapes is one of the pubs that they use, to be fair, because it's Victorian, it's in the right area. As soon as you mentioned the grapes, you got the word client. So that must have been one of the places that they went for business.
Probably one of the places where.
Must have been, mustn't it?
I mean, no matter what they all tell you, the 10 bells, it wasn't all. The 10 bells is basically used in the stories. They used other pubs. There was the 10 bells. There was.
I think the 10 bells was probably the main meeting point, but there were many others, weren't there?
There was another one, and I can't off the top of my head.
Quite a few, I think.
But, yeah, there was.
Well, let's just get our bearings and know where we are. Still not seen that. So we've still not found the Whitechapel church yet. So we're going to keep looking because. Do you want to cross over and just carry on up? Don't suppose you could Google the map or have a look on any of these bus things and see if we know exactly the location. It's mad, this place. There's people flying around everywhere.
We're going down towards Oldgate.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay, let's head that way. Do you know what? If you look down there, there's some pretty Victorian buildings there.
Yeah.
And there's also that area where they wrote on the wall, the Jews are not the men who would not be blamed, remember? Yeah. So I don't know where that is from here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. Mincing Lane, that sounds familiar, that. Did they bring us down this road when they were doing, when we did the tour? Just seems familiar, that name.
Yes.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, we did.
See all these streets they would have worked on.
A lot of these names, you haven't got the same names as they used to around then. The only real name that's still here is Mitre Square. There is, I think, somebody's yard, which is
Dutton's Yard.
Dutton's Yard, which is quite a bit away. Yeah, people use that, which is going just off Commercial Avenue. Yeah.
Because there's some Victorian big buildings coming up at the bottom here.
We're on a river hunt and we're just trying to.
But we don't necessarily mean that what's said in the film and the books is exactly where they used to. I mean, they can only piece together the parts that the nights they were murdered. The rest of it, is that a different church? Or is that the back end of the Whitechapel church?
I think that's the back end.
Oh, right, so we're going the right way then. So they could only really piece together what happened on the actual nights that the women, were found.
Yeah, right.
The other days of their lives they can have no record of because these women just went out every day to survive. They didn't keep a diary or they had no family to say where they were, and they'd all left the families, all of them, and come to London because they were all addicted to drink or drugs or some kind of opium or whatever, and they came here to feed the habit. And same story as today.
And a lot of the files from that day have disappeared.
Strangely disappeared, to be honest. And that makes you think, why? Is it someone that we're not supposed to know who's behind these murders?
Exactly.
Are they covering something up? Because I always believe the two-part movie that Michael Caine was in, I think is the true story. Alright, we've filmed 8 minutes, but do you want to carry on a bit more? Yes. Don't want to cut it too short. Oh, over there, that's the square, isn't it? Alright, let's just turn this around. Got a few people walking down, so I don't want to get them on the shot. I think if we go up there, right, we're going to come to the square where the trough is, and the Whitechapel main church, which it was where the prostitutes went, but a lot of homeless used to sort of sleep around there as well. And they would have had them homeless in and interviewed them, see if they could remember anything unusual of those nights. And I'm pretty sure that this is the way, so.
If I'm correct.
Let's have a look.
If I'm correct, down one of these streets is
Jack the Clipper. Jack the Clipper, the hairdresser, and Jack the Chipper, the fish and chip shop. As long as we don't run into Jack the Stripper, I'm not really bothered, to be fair.
I quite like Jack the Chipper.
I like Jack the Chipper. Come and get your fish and chips for 10 quid. Only 10 quid, ladies and gentlemen, at Jack the Chipper. Bargain. Bargain in London. Or come and get your hair cut by Jack the Clipper. Or if you ladies are having a hen party, you can book Jack the Stripper, if you must. If you're so much inclined. If you go in the middle there, there's like Victorian monuments and things, so there would be some meeting point. See, I think they had a few meeting points, not just like one or two, you know what I mean? Should we cross over and go in the middle there and see what that is? The hung, drawn and quartered. There's the shard again, look, up there. Alright, we're just going to cross the street, so I'll keep the camera in my hand, and then if I get mowed down, you're all witness to it. We're going to go in the middle of the street because I'm not sure, because there were some places where they could get soup and all that and refuge, do you know what I mean, and get fed and maybe heard, as in listen heard. Yeah. Alright, let's cross over, let's see what we got on this side. Not get mowed down by this truck. Oh, can they go? Let's see what that building is in the middle. All these Victorian buildings would have had some part to play. Definitely. That's the Tower of London there, isn't it? So we've come full circle and back. What we'll do is we'll film 10 minutes and then I'll stop it, and then we'll get our bearings and see if we can find... we've done 12 minutes. Do you want me to stop the camera now? And save a bit of battery?
Yeah, alright.
Alright.
So, we're still on our hunt for Jack the Ripper. We're going to sort out our bearings a little bit better, and we're going to continue later on.